Well, it's Halloween in the NFL. It's almost the best time of the year.
Yes, sir.
A trade deadline is coming up too.
That too. That could be scary.
So it could be very scary.
It could be spooky.
Very spooky. That's what we're saying. Very spooky. Midway through the season, trade deadline coming up. A lot of teams want to do some stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think Myles Garrett is hoping something happens with him for sure.
Oh, yeah.
He don't want to be trick-or-treating in Cleveland no more.
I feel bad. I feel bad for you. Personally, Myles Garrett, I feel bad for you. We'll get to you. We'll get to you later on. But this is Inside the Red Zone, episode 9 of our great show with my guest and my ride partner out here today, Mr.
Flacco City, a.k.a. Flaquito, a.k.a. Young Zoo. Check me out on the Area 90 podcast if you don't mind that. Sorry to, throw my shameless plug in there, but we out here trying to grow. That's all that is.
Thing, young blood.
We out here trying to grow.
Inside the Red Zone with myself as well. Proud and presented by Flacco City Studios. We want to thank the audience and the viewers for tuning in.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now we can get back to Mr. Myles Garrett. We'll start off there.
We'll start there. You said you feel bad for him. I hate to take the wheel and just yank it on out of your hands, but I can't feel bad for him. You know why? Because going into this season, if I'm not, I defer to you in this program. Not only is it your show, but you got the knowledge. You got the swag too, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for your knowledge, okay? No. I just found this.
Like a bumblebee.
I went to Burlington, just through my car.
I love the humble flex.
But no. So I think going into this season, Myles Garrett, he understood the situation that he was in with Cleveland. Cleveland's never really had a quarterback. We know in the NFL, you can't do much without a quarterback.
Right.
So this season, going into it, he said, I'll still take the money. Am I right or wrong?
He did.
He got paid. He got paid a nice, handsome amount.
Yeah.
You wanted the money, you got to deal with, you put yourself in this situation because you wanted the check, and now you got to deal with it. It reminds me of when Tyreek first left from Kansas City, went to the Dolphins, and you could kind of tell he was still like, we're not doing what I thought we were going to be doing. Hey, you decided you wanted more. You could have stayed in Kansas City and kept winning the Super Bowls. You wanted more money. You got to deal with what you got. You got to deal with what you got.
No, I agree with you. I mean, we all got to deal with our consequences of our actions, right? And I don't know the situation and the background from where Myles Garrett came from. He probably grew up from nothing, got it from the mud.
Yeah,
for
sure.
So, when you get a large sum of money like that, it's hard to tell, especially a man, like no to that. You know what I mean? You've got mouths to feed. You've got families. A lot of family members depending on you. You know what I mean? So sometimes, the check may not be, you may get less than going somewhere else, but again, on a flip side of it, you get an opportunity to win.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And what these players don't know too is the fact that when you win, there's obviously residuals, and there's obviously, extra earnings that you get if you win the Super Bowl as well. Yep. And Myles Garrett, he's made so much money in his career with endorsements and stuff. I think he is in a position where he wanted to win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I'm looking at the game physically, and 5 sacks, like, message to Jerry Jones. This is for you, Jerry Jones.
Jerry.
If you want to rectify what happened with Micah Parsons, the trade deadline is coming up next week. There's a guy in Cleveland. I don't think he has a no trade clause in his contract. There's a guy in Cleveland that wants out. He just had 5 sacks against New England this past weekend. If you want to rectify and you want the Cowboy fans and the Cowboy faithful to have your heart again, you go ahead and you try to get Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is a Texas guy. He went to Texas A&M for college. He would like to be a Cowboy. If there's any hope for you to rectify what the hell you did with Micah Parsons, that's the move you do. That's the impact player on defense that you need.
And because
My name is Seven, I approve this message.
And I'm going to add on to that because I'm Flacco and I approve this message. Because that made so much sense, Jerry's not doing that. Yeah. I'm just letting you know that right now. Yeah. There's an answer, bright as day. Hey, come get me. Yeah. Just like it was with Derrick Henry. I wanted to play for you. I want to play for you. No. Now you got Myles Garrett, like you said, just came up with 5 sacks.
Right.
That's exactly what the Cowboys are missing. Jerry Jones is trying to act like we don't see it. Oh, we see it. We know what you guys are missing. We know what you told us. go get that guy if you really want to make, but that makes too much sense. So, I don't think that's why I'm just like, nah, I don't think Myles is going to go.
And of course, we know Jerry, he likes to keep his money, not spend it.
Exactly.
So that might be another issue.
Yep. And to get Myles Garrett for those 5 sacks, you got to pay. And he deserves it. He deserves it.
And listen, yesterday's price ain't today's price.
Yesterday's price
ain't today's price. So it's going to continue moving forward. Yeah, it's going to continue
especially after
rising.
5 sacks. Come on now.
Come on.
And he's not even 30.
Listen. There's 2 people on planet Earth right now that I would, if I was an owner, I would go ahead and give 5 years, $1 billion cash. That's Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
And Myles Garrett right now.
Yeah.
Because the things that those guys do, they're not from planet Earth.
Yeah, and Victor's young.
Come on. Come on. Now. We gotta start a basketball podcast talking about them another day. But let's stick to Jerry.
Yeah.
Let's stick to Jerry and talk about the Cowboys. They were red hot. They got number 1 scoring offense, number 1 total offense. They were in Denver. My Denver pick looking really good for the division. I know it's looking good.
Yeah.
And they got their butts whipped.
They got them.
They're a totally different team on the road.
At home. And I think what I noticed about the Cowboys, which you cannot do this in the NFL. I mean, probably most sports, but you can't get rattled as soon as you go down. If you go above the Cowboys by 10 points, you could see them start. It's like they got hit with that perfect shot to the chin, and they're wobbled. And now we just go for. You don't even have to go for the knockout. Just maintain because they're not getting back in the fight. Right. And that's the thing I think with the Cowboys. Because if you look at them offensively, you got Dak, who's he was putting up crazy numbers. The run game is solid, and then 2 arguably the best duo receivers in the NFL. I mean, I think Jamar Chase and Higgins is a close, but Flacco looks good with them too. But either way, they have the offense to do it. So you get, you think to yourself like, why can't they, get over the hurdle? But to me, it's always when as soon as y'all go down, your heads go down, and the team they wave, and then they just they don't get their balance. They fall. Right. You're like, whoa, trying to catch your balance, and you just cannot get it, and they fall.
And for me, what I think it is? I just think this franchise is cursed. It's kind of like, I think I mentioned it a couple podcasts ago. It's kind of like England soccer. I'm sorry for the English fans out there and the English, federation. But, I always compare the Dallas Cowboys to England soccer. Every World Cup, there's expectations. You got some of the best players in the world. I mean, Bellingham and all their Premier Leagues, Bundesligas, La Ligas. Yep. And when it's the World Cup, for some reason, they always are very underwhelming. Yep. I compare that to the Dallas Cowboys. I understand. You know what I mean? Yep. And there are always expectations, and they haven't won yet. The Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in over 30 years. And they haven't won more than 2 consecutive playoff games in over 30 years. Yep. Can you believe that? And I just think the franchise is cursed. I just think that, and it's not going to happen, by the way. Jerry Jones ain't going to give up the team. He's not going to give up his power, but that's what needs to happen.
What, Jerry Jones has to go?
Oh, Jerry Jones got to go.
I mean, sadly, and I'm not trying to, bring down the mood or anything, but he is an older guy. And maybe before, it's his time, he'll pass it on and they can go. But so basically for the Cowboy fans, in the next few years, maybe there is a sign of hope. But I think more than anything, it's on paper, they always look good. But more than anything, it's their fans that really pushed in it. It's just false hopes. It's just like, you're
got talking asinine fans.
Yeah, you were talking about soccer. Arsenal is just the same way. Their fans is just like the Cowboy fans, where they're riding on the coattail of history. Yeah. Many years ago, Cowboys were phenomenal. That soccer, I'm sure a lot of the viewers don't know too much about soccer, but Arsenal is a team that used to be good. But every year, the fans are, this is our year, this is our year, this is our year. Right. And it has not been their year since, like before we even had the first black president. That's how long ago it was. I'm just saying, there's a lot that has changed in these years since either of these teams has been good, but every year they look like, boom, they should do it, they should do it, they should do it. Next thing you know, you got Ezekiel Elliott playing center against the 49ers, or not the 49ers. The 49ers,
yeah. The 49ers, yep.
Ridiculous. So I can kind of see where you mean they're cursed, but I also think Jerry Jones puts them in a position to be cursed, but I also think Jerry Jones does this so that we keep talking about the Cowboys.
He loves the narrative.
Yeah.
He loves the narrative. He loves the spotlight.
He loves the money.
Come on, man.
He loves that money. Like you just said, it would make so much sense to get Myles Garrett. And Jerry knows we're going to talk about it, and that's why he's not going to get him, because then we're going to talk even more about it. You know what I mean?
That part.
And that's going to keep them headline news. And as long as he's, like I said, I don't think Jerry Jones's end goal is the Super Bowl. I think it's money, 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 money.
Absolutely.
Keep us at the head of,
ratings.
Exactly.
As well.
Literally.
Yep. They are the richest sporting franchise, not even in American sports, but
and if you're the richest owner, are you complaining about a ring or not? Like that is their ring. I'm getting billions.
We're talking about Jerry Jones not listening to us. Let's talk about a team and a couple players that did listen to us from the last podcast.
Yes.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Saquon Barkley and Mr. Jalen Hurts. I think they understood the assignment. They heard us.
Yes.
I don't know if they heard inside the RedZone pod, but I made sure that I made it clear.
Yep.
I said that Saquon, your performance was unacceptable of what happened last week against Minnesota. They took it as a grain of salt and they showed out. I saw more of the stuff that I was saying that they weren't doing with the read option stuff, with also the bootleg stuff.
Yep.
A lot of stuff where they were trying to be too cute. They kept it simple this week. They handed the ball off. I saw more shotgun pistol read stuff. And as a result, what happens? You get a win against your division rivals, right? And you get back to Philadelphia football. That's what I saw this week.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, if y'all didn't watch last week's episode, I even took a random shot. I was the one with Saquon on my fantasy team that was not getting any numbers from him. You mentioned it, and he goes absolute. Like, I think he had, like, fantasy-wise, in the first half, like 24 points. Yeah. First half, he had that, I think, his longest run of the season. And I think sometimes when you have, this was many years ago, my sophomore year in high school, we had the most talented team that this high school has ever had, but we had the worst record that, in that period of time. And I just think it's because sometimes you have so many weapons, so many good things that you try to make something magical happen. When you just keep it simple, you'll go a lot further. You know what I mean? Sometimes teams, I think, they overcomplicate it. You got Saquon Barkley in the backfield, give him the ball. I know, and what's crazy is the very beginning of the season, he was running pretty decently. And then as soon as A.J. Brown started, saying, I need these passes, I think they started trying to throw it a little bit more. And then, they ultimately kind of, checked themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of told themselves, like, hey, we can't just keep throwing the ball. We have to run it. That's how we've been winning. That's how we're going to win.
No, absolutely. And I love what they did. And hopefully they continue that recipe and they continue to do that, because the Eagles, they have a funny way of, like, if it ain't broke, not fix it, but they want to still break it. Like, it don't make sense.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like this, they played a phenomenal game against the Giants. Watch them next week revolt back to their bad habits and try to play shotgun and try to throw the ball everywhere and stuff like that. Like, no. And I think it also helped A.J. Brown was out. Yeah, I think A.J. Brown was out in the game, and that's immediately made Devontae Smith the number one option. So they had to run the football. Yeah. So pretend A.J. ain't there. Yeah, all right. Exactly. Let's get back to the fundamentals, and obviously that's Philadelphia football. I want to go to the Colts, Indiana Jones and Jonathan Taylor. Tell me what you're seeing from those two.
I'm seeing a weird, good, bad competition between two teammates who are literally in the race for MVP. And it's crazy because usually you never see a running back in the discussion. Now you got a running back and a quarterback on the same team. So it's like, I want you to, like, if I'm Daniel Jones, I'm like, you're open, but so is my receiver out here. I might have to hit him because you're going to take the MVP from me. But to be honest and to be real, I just think it's a good problem to have, which is not really a problem, but it's a good thing when you have a quarterback that, is literally fitting your system perfectly. And who saw this? I mean, every game, we just keep getting impressed and we're like, okay, he's for real. Because he spent his whole career with New York, didn't really do much. He wasn't anywhere else, right? From the Giants to the Colts. And we didn't see this coming. And I think Jonathan Taylor, the thing about him is, I think so many people are missing, because I hear MVP discussion, I hear Bijan, I hear Saquon even a little bit, I hear quarterbacks, but I think because he's playing in a small market, not a lot of people are recognizing how crazy his numbers are, right? Like, he's on pace to run over 2,000 like right now, and we're only we're probably halfway at the halfway point. And he's above, not at 2,000. He's on pace to run above 2,000. So I think if you're a Colts fan, or the coach or whoever, you're on the high and you got to ride that wave. And you got to stay the course though. Don't try to overdo it. Don't try to underdo it. But keep going, and we'll see what happens around January, February.
No, absolutely. Right now, I mean, as it stands, you say you would break the record. He would break the NFL record, led by Eric Dickerson back in '84. But I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Colts right now. Jonathan Taylor's a bad man. Bad man. I mean, he already has 13 touchdowns, and we're almost midway to the half mark of the season. So he's not there. So, I mean, he's going to shot it at light years. I mean, it ain't even going to be close. You know what I mean? I love what the Colts are doing. We talked about 2 players being on the same team for potential MVP, but what about the coach? What about the coach that's obviously changed the trajectory of Daniel Jones' career right now, Mr. Indiana Jones? He's definitely in the discussion for Coach of the Year. So they could have, I mean, they got some hardware on that squad. That for sure when it comes to nominees at the end of the season. But I love what I'm seeing from the Colts right now. Number one, obviously, not only in the AFC, but number one in football right now with the best record. The road through the playoffs would have to go through Indianapolis. And right now, if you never seen no football, you would think that Indiana is probably the team to beat. Now, it remains to be seen because we'll get to the Chiefs later, we'll get to Denver later. But right now, as it stands, I mean, how can you say that Indianapolis can't be a team that represents the AFC in the Super Bowl?
You got it. I mean, again, you called him Indiana Jones. I think he done discovered. The way to the Super Bowl is through him, and like I say, you just have to, and he doesn't seem like a quarterback that's going to get too out of himself, rattled or anything like that. People have always joked he's got like that Eli Manning, face, like it doesn't change. And I think as a quarterback, that's sometimes a really good thing, to be able to make sure, hey, I'm leveled no matter what happens. And that's actually what I love so much about Baker Mayfield is no matter what happens, he's not scared. He's not rattled. So I think Daniel Jones, he's got the perfect opportunity. And then in the NFL, we've watched perfect opportunities do not come very often. The Bengals were in the Super Bowl. They haven't been back since. Can't even keep their quarterback upright. So you have to take advantage of your opportunities, and it is a good opportunity. But like you said, a tough situation is the Chiefs are getting back together.
Absolutely.
It's like that super villain that you blew them up, and then slowly the pieces are just slowly piecing back together. Everything is coming back stronger.
And let's get to them because obviously, I mentioned that they wouldn't win the division. Denver's looking like they might. They still have to play a couple matchups left, but right now they're rounding into form. I remember in a couple episodes we talked about it. I said the Chiefs right now, it's an evaluation period because a lot of their players were out, but now Rashee Rice is back and then Worthy's here. And then obviously I mentioned that's going to open up the underneath stuff for Kelsey. And now you're starting to see Mahomes' name starting to creep up in the MVP thing because right now the defense was always solid. That's the thing with them. The core nucleus of that team was always the defense. And honestly, that's what kept them afloat. So they weren't too much losses behind 500. That's what really kept them there because the offense was still trying to figure itself out. Now they got their players back. I remember I said the term look the hell out because right now, the way that they're clicking on offense, I'm still concerned about the run game with them, but the way that they're running the way that they're passing the football, Mahomes got full command of that offense. They put a beat down. He threw 2 picks in that first opening half against the Commanders, and then they looked like a totally different team. They ran out and threw 28, and they routed the Commanders.
You mentioned the 2 picks, and you have to say it when you talk about interceptions. Is one of those picks came right off of Travis Kelce's hands. So Travis Kelce's got to get that together too. Now, of course, right after that, he did bounce back and made some big catches, but those little mistakes is just like when Derrick Henry was fumbling the ball. You can't have it, especially a pick or a drop that leads to a pick. That's 2 negatives. That's the 2. When you throw the ball in the air, it's either a catch, that's the positive, or the negatives it's either an interception or a drop. You did 2 negatives in 1. You dropped it and got it picked. So you got, Travis Kelce, I think I mean, he's getting older, but he is, he's a clutch player. Yep. He's got to keep,
first ballot Hall of Famer.
Exactly. Yep. And no matter what, he's going to be that. But you have to, avoid simple mistakes like that. But yeah, Patrick is looking good. I know when he starts turning his head sideways, when he's walking to the huddles and stuff, that's what I know.
Listen, I tell everybody it's like a sequel. It's like a movie. I've seen this movie before.
Yeah,
it's just like a sequel. When he start doing that, and then when the hair start popping,
I'm telling you,
and then he's got the tongue out like Jordan. Look the hell out. He's getting a little too comfortable.
Speaking of that game, I call him Marcus Mariota because he was quarterback for Atlanta for a little bit. Mr. Mariota, he dropped a nice dime to
McLaurin.
Woo!
Yeah, Terry McLaurin.
He threw it. I thought he just threw it right out of bounds. That thing raindropped right in, and perfect catch, and kept his feet in bounds and everything. Right. I mean, me as a fan, I was like, that's not a catch, because I had him on fantasy, that. But it was a catch. It was beautiful too. So I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Mariota.
He always had talent. He's just never really panned out in the NFL. I want to go to your Super Bowl pick from the AFC, the Bills.
The Bills,
right? The Bills right now. We'll get to New England too. They're in the same division, obviously. So they put a beat down on Carolina. James Cook ran wild, over 220 yards. I like the way that they fed him and made him the focal of the offense, and not really Josh. Josh obviously is the reigning league MVP, and sometimes your whole game plan as a defensive coordinator is him. But I like the fact that they made James Cook as a guy, and they started running the football. And then, of course, New England right now with Draye Maye, what they're doing right now. Vrabel's obviously positioned himself as coach of the year. And then, of course, the defense is starting around in the fourth. Stephon Diggs has made life a lot easier for Draye Maye. So those two teams right now, how do you see it panning out in the AFC East? Who wins the division? Because I know Buffalo was your pick to come out the AFC.
That's a tough question because, it's halfway to the, we're at the halfway point and we still got 8 more games to go. But I just, like I said, early prediction was Josh Allen. I just think that it's his time. Drake, he's a rookie, right?
Second year.
And just something about those playoffs when, I don't know the last time a rookie or a second year quarterback made it deep into in the playoffs. Maybe Purdy.
Yep.
Maybe Brock Purdy, but and you saw the talent that was around him when he did that. So I'm still gonna ride with Josh Allen. I just feel like with Josh Allen, he's got that composure that I was speaking about earlier. Is that no matter what now of course he's got to get those turnovers controlled, but when he's in form, he looks like I'm not comparing him to Brady, but that composure of like in the midst of chaos, a deep breath. He's open. Boom. And so I just think Josh Allen has that. Mr. Maye, he's looking good. But it's something about ask James Harden, ask Lamar Jackson, literally. Something about those playoffs, like the atmosphere, there's something in the air. And I just don't know if a second-year quarterback can take on that type of pressure.
Right.
So I'm still going to ride with Josh Allen.
Yeah, the only 2 guys that we've seen that obviously second year made it to the Super Bowl, both won actually, which is crazy. Ben Roethlisberger, second year, and Russell Wilson. Legion of Boom.
I didn't know that was Russell.
So the only 2 guys, and those guys are obviously going to Canton, Ohio.
For sure.
It remains to be seen if Draye Maye, time will tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Only time will tell with those guys. Definitely there for sure. Green Bay, Sunday Night Football, love Rodgers. We know the history behind that. Backed up Aaron Rodgers, 3 years in Green Bay, then left. First time they met, Love got the better of Rodgers that night.
He did.
The defense, obviously, the Green Bay Packers are a overall better football team than the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. But I was impressed. Tucker Kraft, he looked good.
Yeah.
The tight end for the Packers himself. And then, of course, the defense with Micah Parsons is incredible. It's funny to me, what was funny was because every time it was a third down, by the way, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they were 1-13 on third down. Horrible.
Yeah.
But every time they were on third down, Rodgers would see where Parsons lines up And then the minute that he seen him coming, he would just throw the ball away or dunk it down.
Yeah.
To a check down.
Yep.
He want no part of Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
I don't blame him either because I don't want no smoke either. But
you know what? Oh, I forget the other lineman, D lineman, that's same position as Micah, but on the other side.
CJ Watt.
Just having Micah on this side opens it up for him to get to the quarterback a lot more. And that's what you call an impact player, is because just even though he's not getting the sacks, his presence is being felt to the point where we got to double team him, which that means, hey, they're gonna double team me. This your chance to go eat, and that's where the Packers are gonna make their living is off that D line, because Michael Parsons is that impactful. Even without the sacks, and that's why people got to watch the games, because
sometimes it's not always about the sacks. It's the double coverage and the triple coverage that he demands.
Exactly.
It's the attention that he demands.
Yep.
So even if he's not getting the sacks, is he getting the tackle for losses?
Exactly.
He's getting the pressures.
Yep.
He's getting the hurry ups.
Yep.
Right. He's getting the ball out quick. He's speeding up your offense as an opponent.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you're not really getting to the playbook and the plays that you're looking to get into.
Yep.
That's what Michael Parsons does.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers is at that age where I'm getting rid of the ball.
Yeah.
Like you watch,
he can't get out the pocket like
you
he
watch
used to.
Jackson Dart, and he's trying to run people over like he's Cam Scatterboot. Shout out Scatterboot. I just enjoy saying his name, Scatterboot. But Aaron Rodgers ain't doing none of that. I'm throwing the ball at your ankles. He's too old for it.
Is the Packers right now the class of the NFC? You got Philly, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you got the Lions. They were on a bye week. Is the Packers the class of the NFC?
You said you got the Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions,
they're in the same division too.
Exactly. Something about the Lions, I love. I love their, their hard nosed, smash mouth.
You'd want to play for that.
Exactly. Yeah. And then that Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a few running backs throughout the league, but like something about him, when I watch him, he's my favorite running back to watch. He's not up there. He is.
Mr. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep. Top route running extraordinaire. Yeah. Oh, his feet is like a hot knife through butter. Yeah. I'm telling you. And Jared Goff, yeah, he's one of them quarterbacks that is like that. Exactly.
Been into a Super Bowl already too. So I love the culture as well. I agree with you. I think I'll take the field right now.
Yeah.
Over them. So right now, I think the thing with Love now, if Love played like how he did last game and against the Packers, then yeah, they can beat anybody. But my problem with them is I've seen Jalen Hurts do it. I've seen Jared Goff been to a Super Bowl. I've seen I've seen Baker Mayfield in high crucial moments not fold. I've seen Love have here and there, but not consistent enough. So I'm not ready to say that the Packers are the class of the NFC. Not yet. But this weekend, we got a rivalry renewed. It's the new Brady and Mahomes rivalry, Brady and Peyton Manning rivalry. You got, again, we know Josh plays his best football against Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. It's again, how do you see that coming? And give me a score.
I know we're crunched for time, so I'm going to just go, I'm taking the Bills still, and I'm going to say something telling me 28-23.
28-23.
Something is telling me 20. Ooh, maybe I should go higher because they got a lot of weapons. Let's go 34-28. Bills. 34-28 Bills.
And it's in Buffalo again.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of those times that they've played, it's always been in Kansas City. So it's going to be fun to watch this week. The highlight of week 9 in the NFL. And this is Inside of the Red Zone. Every Friday, we have these episodes. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, goals and touchdowns, had to add a home run. When it comes to this West, I come through in the clutch.